Hey, want to skip those ads and get early access and bonus episodes of all Banana for Scale shows? Hop on over to truestory.fm/join and discover all the cool perks that come with being a member of the Banana for Scale family. Coming up, we put a big fucking joke on a bagel.
Language.
Greetings, First Jumpers. I'm not Lester Ryan Clark.
And I'm not Keith Dees.
We're another version of them from another universe, and this is another episode of Every Minute of Everything Everywhere All at Once, a show where we attempt to explain, evaluate, enlighten, and elucidate the Academy Award-winning film Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, so our minute begins with Rock Joy saying, that is, until we discover that the Earth is revolving around the sun, which is just one sun out of trillions of suns.
And the answer they're saying, I was hoping you would see something I didn't. That you would convince me there was another way.
Yes, folks, we are finally getting into the why, the plan behind the plan, where the villain reveals why they are doing all this. And up to this point, I've been pointing out how Jobu checks all the boxes of my favorite type of villain in movies, TV, books, and for me, this is the final and most important puzzle piece for what I think makes a good villain. And I'm watching this for the show now and thinking, is Jobu the perfect villain? And does that make Evelyn the perfect hero? We're not done with the story yet. We're not done with their story, but I'm going to keep this in mind as we get closer to the end of this thing.
Okay, so the perfect villain. How do you mean that? You mean, maybe not better than Wicked Witch of the West, Nurse Ratched, Darth Vader, Hannibal Lecter, but that class of super S-tier villains?
Yes, I actually just learned what S-tier means.
I don't know what it means. It's just high. It's better than A, and I don't know why. But
I think it means special.
That's stupid.
Maybe it means stupid. I don't know. No, okay. Let me clarify. Maybe the perfect villain for me, like my favorite type of villain, because she has like all of those people that you mentioned, Keenan.
Right.
Jobu has like flavors of them in her. Like she's like the perfect mix and perfect, like, I guess subjectively perfect villain for like my type of villain.
That's really great. So did I leave anybody out who people might put up there, like Heath Ledger Joker, I suppose?
Yeah, I mentioned him as well.
The evil witch from Snow White, or the evil queen rather from Snow White, I suppose. Yeah, I mean my kind of villain, my pick is Nurse Ratched, who has no superpowers, etc. She's just calm. She controls everything. We find out in the book version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest that she has hired her own boss, maybe a couple of times, where like people who are overseeing her, she's like, oh, I'm the reason he has a job, so he's not going to do all that, And she wins throughout the entire thing. And maybe she kind of loses by the end of the book, but not really.
It's what do you call it? Like it's a small price to pay, but she still wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in the book they kind of make it that because what is his name? McMurphy kind of tries to strangle her, and so in the end she's not able to use her voice the same way in the book.
Okay.
In the movie, it's more implied like she's going to heal that. Okay. Yeah, and then he's much worse off, obviously. Right?
I've heard that in the book, some of the inmates, I'm thinking of the Native American character, see her as like this multi-armed like creature almost.
Yes. The book is entirely from his point of view. It's not from McMurphy's point of view.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
from the chief's point of view. So he, so he has psychosis. So he sees the story events, and it's written enough. Kesey writes it enough that it's clear what's happening with McMurphy and the other characters and Ratched, but then every once in a while the chief describes it. Yeah, Nurse Ratched is a multi-armed creature who sits at the center of the universe, and everything that happens in the universe, like the sunrise, the sunset, etc., is her pulling the levers, like an old, like a Hindu version of a god. Yeah,
right. Yeah. And there we go again, like bringing it back to Jobu, just like being the center of the universe and having all that power, having all that control.
I really appreciate you taking that big swing here. So I like that. Okay, great. So she is the perfect villain for you.
Yes. I think And I think throughout our shows, like starting with The Exorcist and then going into The Devil's Details and then doing this one, and then every Disney villain with you, Keenan, I've talked ad nauseum about. Is that the right ad nauseum? Yeah. It sounds like nauseous. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. To a nauseating degree. No, I've talked about like the types of villains I like and the types of tropes that I like, and I think I've exhausted that as well here with Jobu. And yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker, Kefka from Final Fantasy VI,
I like
Nurse
that.
Ratched, Darth Vader, all of them. I'm seeing like sparks of all of them within the character that is Jobu.
Exciting. Okay, great.
Yeah. And then, the big question, what does that mean for Evelyn? Like, if she, if we're going by the relationship between the hero and the villain, then what does that say about our hero? Right? But I want to hold on to that as we go. But for now, let's get to the top of this minute. You'll remember last time we discovered that this is one of the universes where the conditions weren't right for life to form. And also that most of them are like this. Thanks for the existential dread, Daniels. And we pick up in this minute with Jobu finishing a thought from the previous minute, which is that there was a time not too long ago where we believed that the sun, moon, stars, everything, everywhere, in fact, revolved around the earth, around us. And then even more recently, we discovered that that's not the case. The earth revolves around the sun, and that broke our little human brains, our small, stupid human brains, at least in the Western Christian world. I don't know how the rest of the world reacted to that, or if they even cared, or if they already knew, or and if you've been following our other show, folks, The Devil's Details, you remember we've explored this in both our Dante and our Milton seasons. In Paradise Lost, specifically, Satan escapes from hell and travels through space. And he makes a quick stop at the sun to ask directions to Earth. And this was written by a guy who personally knew Galileo, who was under house arrest at the time.
Yeah, if you remember right, like when Milton was able to travel before he lost his eyesight, it was apparently a very common thing for people to, as they were touring Europe and like seeing all the great cultural sites and the great scientific sites, to visit Galileo's house, and, like he's the Statue of Liberty or something.
Like he's an attraction.
He's an attraction. Yeah, I was trying to think of the equivalent, because I guess like he is a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic, but he's a real person.
This is the crazy guy who thinks the sun is the center of the solar or the geosystem.
Right. Yeah, that's great though.
And then to find out, as Jobu says here, that our sun is just one out of trillions of suns. Right? Fantastic. I feel great. That's what I came to the movie theater for, was to feel like a small, stupid piece of shit. Where's my popcorn? Munch, munch, munch.
Munch, 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 munch.
Nom, nom, nom.
I like the adaptation of Where the Wild Things Are by Spike Jonze from 2010. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
It's really great.
I remember the book, though. I remember those illustrations.
Yeah, and I can imagine a lot of people being afraid of what they would do. Like, how do you turn like a 20-page book to a feature-length movie? But one of the things that really bothers Max in the movie is he learns that the sun has a definite lifespan and that the universe will end eventually. And then, so that is kind of like an inciting incident for him, where he's just like, what the hell is the point of any of this? So then like, as in the book, when his mother's like, you have to eat dinner or whatever, he's like, what the fuck, Mom? Why would you make me do that? And then he runs off to the land of the wild things.
Oh wow! I was gonna say, I was gonna joke. He's like, well, they didn't say that in the book. But no, that gives so much more depth to the book.
Yeah, obviously, like they're two separate things. I wouldn't want that to be added to the book, but that is I've heard people complain about that movie, even though I adore it, that it's kind of like somber and it's definitely not as fun as the book, but it has the same heart to it of like, why do little kids escape into their fantasies and and all of that, and in this version. Yeah, it's the sun's going to blow up and solid the earth in a couple billion years, and for a 10-year-old to figure out that and like deal with that is enough to make him want to go away for a little while.
We're all going to die, and there'll be nobody to remember our stories, like this story where the wild things are.
Oh, I'm glad I taught you that enough that you could remember that by rote now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Why of all the things to remember? But I remember that. No, I actually like that. Like, I know people don't like it when you mess with the source material, but like that's like, if I remember correctly, that book was like, it's like, oh well, Max was just like a naughty little boy who loved to do naughty things, and and he was just a problem child, and then he would go into the monster land and be a monster himself. But that, like, if you knew the sun was gonna die. Then maybe a little kid would do that.
And I guess it's the point, because we all know that too. Like we all know that nowadays. And so what do we do with that with our lives?
Yeah, you start a wild rumpus is what you do. But like talking about popcorn, right? Nom nom nom, munch munch munch. But actually, okay, this whole thing though, that we're just one sun out of trillions of suns, right? Doesn't bother me as much as it seems to bother other people, because this planet revolving around this sun in this galaxy at this point in time has popcorn and movie theaters and video games and podcasts. Well, okay, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. But no, I understand that this feeling bothers some people, but maybe it doesn't bother me as much. Maybe I'm like unconsciously blocking, the full like import of the thought out, right? Like keeping it from entering my, my fragile little brain. Popcorn is great for that. But like, how about you, Keenan? Like in the last minute, we kind of joked about the idea that, we're either completely alone in the universe or we're not, and both are equally terrifying. And I still stand by that, but I'm standing with a bucket of popcorn. I'm realizing I can be like equal parts awestruck, terrified, and weirdly okay with all of it. How about you?
Oh, this is a deep minute, everybody. And you could put, what you could use the popcorn for is to put it in your ear holes. You don't have to listen to us. Yeah. But please let the whole episode play
drown out
so
the
we get
yeah. Or to drown out the deafening silence that is all around us.
I am generally okay with this idea. It's very interesting, though. Like, I'm okay with this in theory. I do get really blue when I start to apply it to myself. So it's a little bit similar. I'm struck by the idea of like when I was in anatomy class in high school, and a couple of times we watched videos of surgeries. And I was watching one of them with like, they cut up in person on video, and you could see their heart beating, and that's miraculous and wonderful. And I was like, oh, I'm really struck by how I'm not like disgusted by this, like this is okay. And then I was watching this video once, and I was like, "What boat? That's the sternum." And then I started imagining where it was on me, and I went, "Whoa, I can't do that! Oh God!"
Oh gosh!
And I think that's a little bit like this for me, where like I'm okay with this in theory, but I'm not having children. My partner and I have decided we don't want children, and. So then, like, I have my work, I have my art, I have my my work as an educator, and so I'm like, okay, well, that's sort of like living on afterwards, and then when I really start to trace it, I'm like, well, eventually everyone that I did know and did influence will have died, and then, well, maybe I'll teach some professors and their students will talk about me, or but eventually that will go away, and then like that's when I start to like go, oh, so and then it's like, okay, what if I made a movie or a podcast like this, and then eventually that will also go away, like eventually there will be no one around to listen to our podcast, which is the great tragedy. So like I'm okay within the abstract, and then when I think about that, like there will be a point when even the memory of me will actually disappear from the cosmos.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think we're all okay with it in theory. In theory is fine. In theory is fun because we can put that on a movie screen or in the pages of a book, and popcorn munch, right? But I've had similar experience, like you were saying, you were like watching like a surgery, right? And the beating heart. I've had it's similar but like opposite, where it's like you see a dead body and you see the components that make up a person, and your brain just starts. That's all we are. That's just all we are. It's just those parts. It's just that's all we are. And to see it just like lying there dead on the floor. It's like that's just brain matter. That's just that's just a piece of a finger or whatever.
Jeez.
Like it messes with you. Yeah. So we're both having like kind of like a ship of Theseus. Like it's like what is me?
Yeah. What is me? Yeah.
And then we find that out, and it's like, okay, does that matter? Like, what does that matter? Like, right. Okay, I know who I am, or I know what I am.
Right.
Who cares?
Like in therapy speak, like I am not my choices, I am not my past, and then you like elaborate, like I am not my body, I am not my brain, I am my mind, and then well, but you kind of are your brain. Yeah,
because you say my brain, right. You don't say me, right? So, and then brain and mind and soul and blah blah blah, yeah. So thanks for coming on this journey with us, folks.
Thanks for listening to us years after we've died, decades after after podcasts don't exist, and we're hopefully in some podcast museum, and there's somebody who still remembers us.
We're in that corner of the podcast museum where it's like, just listen to these fucking morons.
The how not to corner.
Well, you'll see, through the years, communication was attempted, and there were some notable failures.
Yeah, somehow the human race survived despite this.
Would you believe they actually listened to this, and they still kept going? Yeah. So it's weird. I think it is too big to hold in your mind until those like weird, rare moments, like you have a near-death experience, or somebody close to you dies, or it doesn't even have to be like related to death, but just like some like quick, sharp reminder, that our time is limited, and and time itself is limited, and the Earth is limited, and the sun is limited, and yeah, what the hell is the point of eating my vegetables, Mom?
Yeah, Mom. Sometimes, because I read a lot of history, and sometimes that really depresses me when you find, like, in a biography of someone, and they're like, we don't know, we know her brother was named this, but we know nothing about him.
Oh, God,
it's like, geez. And this, sometimes these biographies are just from like 100 years ago or something like that.
And these are people who like went to school and they're salaried to compile this, and they can't know.
Yeah. And it's like, well, that could happen to any of us, I suppose. And I heard this interview
to most of us.
Right, exactly. Most of us will be like that. And I think we have this comforting illusion that we're leaving all sorts of digital traces and all of that. But eventually, there's going to be so much stuff that people will like decide actively that we don't need this file on Keenan,
right?
Because like out of the hundreds of more years of human history, if we're lucky, I was hearing this novelist Maggie O'Farrell, who wrote Hamnet. I don't think you saw that. I think you would have talked to me about it. Hamnet.
I keep hearing that, and I keep thinking that the person made a mistake when speaking.
Well, it's a biopic about Shakespeare's wife, Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
And their son, Hamnet, who died.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he died, and she's making the case that in her fictional biography, right, of the Shakespeares, that William Shakespeare wrote Hamlet as a response to their son Hamnet's death. Yeah.
Oh.
And she said that she ran across this infuriating sentence in one of Shakespeare's biographies where it said, "We don't know whether Shakespeare grieved Hamnet, his son." And she threw the biography across the room. I was like, what a stupid fucking thing to assume that, someone from 500 years ago didn't grieve his son who died.
Right.
Right. I just think, well, but like even like where people are like, they're so different from us.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why she wrote Hamnet, and and she's like, no, let's imagine that. Let's imagine Anne Hathaway and William Shakespeare like grieving their son Hamnet, and what would that do? And and yeah, like how crazy is that within a year you've written a play called Hamlet, like me writing, I lose my friend Lester to old timey disease, old timey fever, and within a month I write my masterpiece, and it's called Leicester. Yeah,
and that becomes more famous,
right?
And in like a little footnote in like a book that's like out of print and is about to be like swallowed up by like one of the AI companies because they're gonna like scan it and then burn it.
Right.
Which
so no one else
we can get to that. Yeah. Is just a little thing that says it's like, oh, Leicester was actually based on this absolute nobody called Lester.
Right. We don't know whether Keenan missed Lester.
And you can't throw the book across the room because it's been burned already.
Right.
Yeah. We don't know if Shakespeare.
Right. Can you imagine?
We don't know if this human did this human thing that humans have been doing.
Yeah, I thought a lot about you actually when I heard her say that, because like you in The Devil's Details, our other show, you were talking about how we just assumed that people back then in the ancient world didn't understand metaphor or
sarcasm,
simile or sarcasm, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah. And then Jobu says, and now look at us trying to deal with the fact that all of that exists inside of one universe out of who knows how many. So now we're adding another layer onto this, right? The universe is infinite, and there are infinite universes.
Maybe that's why I don't want to believe that there are infinite universes. Maybe I am keeping myself away from believing that. In real life, I mean, not in the movie. Clearly in the movie there are.
Right. I was thinking about this as I was writing. The alternative actually scares me. There's a limited number of universes.
Even if that number is 1? That's scary?
Okay. Actually, if the number is 1, that's okay.
That's
because it's infinity, contained within itself. Right? And if there are infinite infinities, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because it's so big that I can't even, I'm not even going to try. But if Jobu went to Evelyn and said, Mom, do you want to know how many universes there are in the multiverse? And she's like, how many, Joy? And she's like, 5. I'd be like, what does that mean? Why? Why are there 5? Why is it not 7?
Right.
Why is it not 3? Why is it 5?
She says, oh, you foolish human. It's earth, water, wind, fire, and heart. Obviously.
Captain Planet. But no, I don't know. Like, in the same way, like if we discover that there's like a wall to the universe.
Right.
Like I just what does that mean? I'd much rather it just be infinity.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, Jobu continues. She says, every new discovery is just a reminder. And Evelyn actually finishes. She says, we're all small and stupid. I like that we're in here, in this place at the dark night of the soul, and she finished her daughter's thought. It's the perfect way for the movie to show, oh, she's beginning to understand her daughter. They are becoming one. And again, what a way to showcase that in your movie without the actors, without music, without anything but these two rocks.
These two dumb rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Joy has been speaking in white text, and Evelyn's been speaking on black text. And, Joyce is on the left side, Evelyn's on the right side. And this one is the first time that the texts are really appearing on screen together, on stage together.
Yes.
So it's also a really cool visual way of showing that they're having the same thought. So instead of, Joy's being on her side of the screen and Evelyn's being on the other side of the screen, now they're on the screen together, just on top of each other. So they're centered even. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. Speaking of that, we get a close-up of Joy as the rock, and she says, and who knows what great new discovery is coming next to make us feel like even smaller pieces of shit.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Is that from something?
That's from Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Or Shooter McGavin says that to Happy. It's the day before the big final match. He goes, "I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast." Totally deadpan, and it totally makes sense. But then Happy says, "You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?" It's like, no.
I largely stayed away from that era of like SNL actor comedy vehicles, but that is one of those lines that's like that is really funny.
That is a very good I as the grumpy kid, all my friends also like Billy Madison, and I had to watch that several times. That one has like great jokes in it, but it's not a great movie. But I think Happy Gilmore actually is a really, really good movie. It's very funny, very silly. Yeah.
All right.
It's got an alligator in it. And
Adam Sandler. Yeah. Adam Sandler keeps surprising me.
Yes.
Like Hotel Transylvania and all that stuff. Yeah.
But anyway, so she says that, we all feel like some piece of shit, but each new discovery, which seems to embiggen the world, makes us feel like smaller pieces of shit.
Language, which is what Rock Evelyn says. Folks, if you saw this in the theater, you know that this is one of those rare scenes in a movie where you can hear a pin drop in the house. The whole theater is silent as this scene plays out. It's almost magical. We're all sharing in the stillness of this scene with Evelyn and Joy. And as a result, this right here is even more special. I don't know how to describe it, but like suddenly everyone in the theater is laughing from dead silence. And that's the power of this scene. Keenan, do you remember like how it felt in the theater?
Yeah. And then, and an even bigger laugh in a second when we get to their next thing. Yeah.
But it's like the movie really is like holding our hand and guiding us through this thing, and we're all like little kids listening to Where the Wild Things Are, like sitting and listening to the librarian read it, and we're like solemn and silent, and then the joke happens, and all of us in the theater we laugh. It's It's amazing.
Yeah, and partially, it's just really well done because, again, thinking about this as a sequence of like these incredibly fast shots before, and then guiding us into the silence, and then when we have a joke that is it's not an S tier joke. It's like a solid joke, but
it's a popcorn joke.
It's a popcorn joke, right? But like we're so grateful to have that joke to break that tension.
Yes,
I think the next joke is even bigger. That is an S tier joke in my mind. Yeah. But yeah, like we need this one first, perhaps to remind us that we can laugh again.
Yeah. To give us permission.
Permission. Yeah.
And so she says language. And. And we cut to Rock Joy, and she's like, seriously? And then back to Rock Evelyn, who says, I'm joking. That was a joke. Another laugh in the theater. And I like this one for two reasons. One, the classic trope of the, stuck-up serious person who never jokes is telling a joke, right? Evelyn Wong told a joke. My mom told a joke, right? I will always love that trope.
Yeah, sometimes it is hyper-focused autistic detective who never tells a joke and then at some point tells it to the sidekick back. Or the robot who is learning to be human by telling a joke, yes.
Stephen King does a really good job with his Hero of the Dark Tower series, who's kind of like a Clint Eastwood archetype, right? And he's like super serious all the time, but he gathers his band of heroes, and they all kind of like rib him for being like having no sense of humor. It's like, which war did your sense of humor get shut off in? Whatever.
Right.
And then there is a moment where he makes a joke, and it's just like deadpan, serious face, and he's like, "I was joking. That was a joke." And I will never not like this trope.
Right. In Stephen King's The Stand, where Tom Cullen, who probably has some kind of mental disability of some kind, and he says, Tom Cullen. He's played by Bill Fagerback. He played Patrick Jarvis. Tom Cullen, Moon. That spells moon, right? And then at the climax, he says, Tom Moon. That spells moon is how he normally says it. But then at the climax, he says, Mono. That spells moon. And they all look at him and he goes, I'm joking.
Wait, is this in the book?
No, that doesn't happen.
I was like, as you were describing that, I was like, I know this story.
No, I've been faking this tick the entire 800-page book.
And that's when everybody in the story is like, well, fuck you, dude.
Fuck
like,
you,
you're going to
Tom.
pretend to do that.
Have you been paying attention? Do you know what's been going on around here? There's a nuclear bomb on the loose, Tom.
There's like a devil guy in Las Vegas. He's kind of the devil. He's kind of not. I don't know.
98% of humanity's dead, Tom, and you're here fucking around.
And they throw the popcorn at him.
Aw.
Yeah. No.
Like,
where's he go? Okay.
How did I remember this? Oh, because it's.
I didn't see the latest adaptation. Maybe that,
Oh, I wonder who plays Tom Cullen in the latest one.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. No.
I haven't read the book, but I'm sure whenever I do get around to reading the book, we've talked about maybe covering it on the Devil's Details.
Right.
That I will have a very hard time not seeing Bill Fagerback as that. Yeah.
Don't even try anything else. That's just who that is.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So that's one reason I like this. I'm joking. That was a joke because it's the classic trope of like the non-jokey person tells the joke, right? And two, this is exactly how you communicate in text.
Right.
Which is, goes again with my whole theory that this was like consciously or unconsciously meant to mirror a mother and daughter texting each other. Is the mother says something and, doesn't understand the little tricks that you can do with text to make it like sarcastic or whatever. And the daughter's like, what? And it's like, I was joking. That was a joke. Like again, they've captured communication via text through like between mother and daughter perfectly.
Yeah, I like that a whole lot. Yeah, because again, like this was scripted for them to be in voiceover.
Right.
I don't know how far along they got. Maybe they did record the voiceover, but then Michelle Yeoh said let's not do it that way. This is just so much better. Like it's again like one of those things that when you start to look at movies, like because I teach a lot of film students, like filmmakers who trust other ideas to come from other people that they could be better than the idea that you had, right? When you start making movies and it's just a highly collaborative thing, you're like, no, I need to control all of this. I need to to make sure that my, the idea that I had when I was writing this is the only idea, et cetera. And like, this is just so much better that's in text. Because it is expressing everything you're talking about. It's also like giving us this alien sort of feeling of I am a rock and I'm learning how to communicate in rock language. Like, even though we never have anywhere where it's explaining that. Like it feels like that, right? It feels like they are communing in some way, and Evelyn has to learn how to commune as a rock, right?
Right. If we heard the voices somewhere in our brains, we'd be like, oh, Stephanie Shu and Michelle Yeoh are talking for the rocks, for us. But it's like here, it's like, no, the rocks are talking.
Yes, I think that's right. And they're doing it in their rock way. And we don't have to, if we heard them talking, it'd be like, no, like, that's Evelyn
that's
and
the
Joy.
Movie serving us, like, doing it for us, translating.
Or, but even that's Evelyn and Joy, and then this unit, they've been transformed into rocks magically.
Right.
Which is not what this is. These are creatures who have been rocks for 1 billion years.
Yes.
Right. And they are talking in that language. It needs subtitles. Right.
Yeah. And to that point, I also like how the text analogy isn't one-to-one because it doesn't match perfectly because instead of like LOL, Joy Rock's super titles say ha ha ha, right? Actually still kind of like, text languagey because no punctuation, but it's not like so overtly like a text that, it ruins everything.
Right, yeah. So this is where I really thought that this scene, became super, super brilliant is when we're texting out ha ha ha. And it becomes more of like an idea. So like it's not that we're hearing the laughter, et cetera. It's like the idea of laughter in this world is ha ha ha. So yeah, I mean, it's so brilliant. And they could have, I mean, thinking about how if we have our star and she's coming to us and she's saying, no, we need to do it not in voiceover, we need to do this in subtitles, right? You might think, okay, how do we deal with the laughter part of it? And there's options, right? Like this one seems perfect because it is, but like you kind of forget, well, there's other things you could do. You could
do parentheses laughter.
Yes, exactly. Parentheses laughter, or make the rocks shake a little bit and have, maybe they could squeak or something like that, right? Yeah, but instead we just have this and it's just so perfect. So they weaved around and found an even better way of doing it.
Yeah. And yeah, Rock Evelyn responds, a big fucking joke. And then more laughter from Rock Joy. Ha 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 ha. And then a wide shot with both of them laughing in their respective colors. And it's ha 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 ha. Right?
It's brilliant. This is one of my favorite shots in cinema. Yeah, so a super wide shot, which you might do in a more conventional comedic scene. You might go, after all this tension, you might go to a wide shot to see, where people have landed, in like a slapstick scene or something, or a romantic comedy scene. You often go to the wide shot to show like, okay, this is where everyone ended up physically, right? And that's very funny. And then so this is very funny. I mean, again, this is a huge laugh in the theater for my theater. And then it's also because we're getting back to like looking over this cliff and everything. It's also incredibly serene and deep, right? Yeah, it just feels nice to laugh even though we are not laughing. So in some ways, it feels like we in the audience have learned the rock language, just in this very brief way, like, oh yeah, I'm communing with these rocks too. And then I that it's possible for me to do that. Like I'm becoming a more empathetic person.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, good job, us.
Yeah. We try to pat ourselves on the back, but we don't have any hands. What? But then we realize, hey, that's okay.
Right. It's okay.
Yeah. Just be a rock. And yeah, speaking of, like, because you're talking about like shooting this like a conventional comedy scene, and it continues like that because we get the wide shot where they're both going ha 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 ha, and then there's a pause, talking about like comedy timing, and then Joy says fuck. And I love that too. It's like both of us like ha ha ha. It's the traditional kind of like big wide shot. Everyone's like ah ha ha ha, and then silence, and then somebody says something, right? And yeah, that's Joy. She says fuck, and that's funny, and it's also weird because we're talking about rocks. It's also grounding, and it gets us back into, because it's like, if I remember correctly, it's ha 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 ha, pause, and in the pause you hear the emptiness of the place. You hear actually like wind blowing.
Absolutely.
And
so yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And it's like, it's a reminder. It's like, hey, have your jollity, have your happiness. You are in this but this is where you are. This is the reality.
Right. Because we haven't stopped hearing the desert winds throughout the entire scene.
Right.
But there's something about you reading that makes it that you're not paying as much attention to it. And then when you stop reading, it feels as if like in a real conversation where there's silence now, and then we could hear this thing happening. It's really brilliant. I mean, I think they're mixing the wind up a little bit in that moment, but like there's something about it where like it catches us by surprise. Like as we're reading, our brains don't have the capacity to listen to the wind as much as we were. So when we stop reading and there's nothing else to read, it feels like, oh, this deafening silence, but it's always been there. Yeah.
Let me actually, hang on. I'm going to play it back just really quickly. Yeah, there is a definite, purposeful like gust of lonely, empty, desolate wind in between the ha 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 and the fuck.
Right.
And that's like the Daniels, whether they punched it up or they just inserted it. It's like it's like just a reminder, it's mother-daughter laughing, and they found each other, and they found a meaning to their rock existence, and then you just hear, and it's like, oh yeah, there's nothing here. That everything's love it.
Yeah, and their laughter doesn't echo or anything.
Right.
Right.
Like it has no impact. It's like, right.
It's two rocks clapping in the woods, and there's no one around to hear it.
Hear their stories. MOON. Yeah. That spells popcorn. Yeah. So we got the laughter, and then Joy says, "Fuck." Cut to Rock Evelyn. What's wrong? Cut back to Joy, and here we start to hear music again. This is really cool. We have been easing out of the silence, as Keenan has said. Have you noticed it, folks? We've been hearing something. We can hear the wind blowing, even some distant chimes at some point, like wind chimes. And it made me think of like this is like the first signs of life as music are appearing, right? Music is evolving before our ears, right? And on this next line, the first actual note that we can call a note happens. And it's fitting that it's this slowed down, clumsy, discordant piano key. Did you notice that? Like if music were a creature starting out as bacterium, right? That'd be like the wind or the wind chimes, right? Then this broken, clumsy piano key is like Homo sapiens or Neanderthals, right? Like music is evolving and inhabiting this space. Or sound, maybe. You know? Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like we spend enough time at the beginning of the scene stripping out all of the movie making sound. You know, I think we need that right before we could start even having any scoring or anything that's like this. It's kind of like this, you know, metaphorical tone or anything like that. Like we need it to be like, no, really consider what it is to be stripped down of everything, right? And then as the scene becomes more emotional, we're going to start doing these really interesting sound bits here. I think that's going to help prepare us for the magic that happens later in later scenes where the rocks will move, right? But yeah, we're not there yet, obviously. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, as this sound emerges, Joy says, "I've been trapped like this for so long." Interesting. I think this is like the first time we come right out and refer to it as being trapped.
Right.
Yeah, because like before she said like, "Oh, you're like me, like you're everywhere now," right? But like this is the first time we've talked about it like being trapped, right? So the fact that you can be everything everywhere all at once, and that's trapped.
Yeah, because I think we get instantly that it's not that she's saying trapped as this rock.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Right. And Evelyn understands that completely as well, right? It's not like I've been trapped because she can come in and out of this universe when she wants to, and she always is in this universe, and it's always in the other universes, right? But yeah, that's not. We get it immediately. That's not what she's talking about.
Yeah, and yeah, she continues experiencing everything, and then motion, folks. Let there be movement. We cut, and now the camera is moving. It wasn't moving before, right? These were all static shots in the rock universe, right? The last time we moved was when we panned out and saw this place, and that was like, that was like more like a transition, a big bang, you might say. And now, still hovering on that piano key note, the camera has started to revolve. Does it kind of feel like it's revolving around these two rocks? They're not in the center, but like, what do you think of that? Am I going crazy?
I'm picking up what you're saying. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that's fantastic. Yes, I like that a lot.
And yeah, I want to end on what Jobu is saying here, folks. We talked about this before, the villain's cry for help. And I've talked about my favorite, how my favorite type of villain is a broken hero, one who has gone on the hero's journey before and failed, and in that failure became the villain. And often you'll see this type of villain trying to convince the new hero that their way of thinking is right? They figured it out. The hero's journey is a sham. The quest is fake. The game is rigged. I already tried that, and I discovered that it's all bullshit. So come with me, join me, validate me, prove that I'm right, that there are no heroes, and that we're all living a lie. I see that in the Joker. I see that in Darth Vader. I even saw it in Satan in Paradise Regained when we did that with the Devil Show, where he's talking with Jesus in the desert, right? All of these villains are reaching out to the hero because they see themselves in them. They see who they used to be or who they could have been. But the difference is that these heroes, Batman, Luke Skywalker, Jesus, they're doing it. They're accomplishing the journey. They took the same path, and somehow they are succeeding. And the villain can't have that because it proves that the game isn't rigged and that the fault lies in them. And how the villain responds to that is what I think makes a good villain. You can have several different ways. You can have the villain lose faith in the hero and just be like, well, you're wrong. I thought you were smart like me, but you're wrong. That's one way to do it. That's a Syndrome from The Incredibles, right? Like he's like, I've outgrown you, is what he says, right?
I just thought of a villain as you were talking about this, who was Miss Havisham in Great Expectations, which I kind of read. And the joke there is that I thought I read Great Expectations in school, but then it turned out it was an abridged version.
Oh, right, yes.
So now I don't know. Should I count that? Will the Goodreads people be mad at me if they find out? But she has trained Estrella to trap men. Right, because she was jilted on her wedding day, and so she's spent the rest of her life just training her to her ward to be kind of like a Black Widow and to make Pip fall in love with her, etc. And then when that starts to fall apart, she can't handle that at all.
Right. Yeah. And she sticks by her convictions. It's like, well, you're wrong. Right.
Not me. Right. Yeah. I'm not going to learn and become better, and I'm not going to go to your wedding in my wedding dress. Right. No.
Yeah. So that's one way, and those are great. Like, I love all those stories. You can also have the villain lose faith in themselves. Like, oh, I guess I was wrong, right? And that's a really sad one because it's like they finally see the light, but they're like, oh, it's too late for me. Like, you go be the hero because heroes are possible in this world and they are needed, but I'm too far gone, right? And this usually ends with the villain dying, like willingly dying, right? I'm thinking Darth Vader. I'm also thinking of Dracula from the Netflix Castlevania series. Yeah, he's there's a very famous scene where he's fighting his son Alucard, and like midway through it, he really they're fighting all over the castle, right? Like they're just breaking through rooms and everything like that, and they end up in his childhood room, in Alucard's childhood room, and that's when Dracula is like, I'm killing my boy, I'm killing and he says to his dead wife, he's like, Lisa, I'm killing our boy, like your greatest gift to me, I'm doing that, I must already be dead, and that's a good way to do it too, is like the villain realizes that they're wrong and they just kind of like deflate, right? They give up and they die. And sometimes they do it like in a way that like helps the hero. It's like they blow up the Death Star. Well, no, they don't. They blow up they give them some kind of power or something like that,
Yeah, he helps them blow up the Death Star too.
Yeah.
Part 2,
right.
I mean.
Yeah.
Well, Dracula and Lisa should be ashamed for giving their son that name, Alucard.
They didn't. Here's my nerdy thing. He gave himself that name.
Oh, gross. What was his birth name?
No. Sorry.
Troy or something?
No, it was Adrian.
That's a perfectly fine name.
It's Adrian Tsepish, right? So Vlad Tsepish, Lisa Tsepish, Adrian Tsepish. But no, it was the villagers called him Alucard.
Oh, okay.
Because he was, so we can blame it on the stupid villagers.
It's Dracula backwards.
Yes, it is.
I was going to say, it's like you're I don't like Lester is a terrible name, Mom and Dad. I will be, what would that be?
Retzel.
Retzel. That sounds pretty good, actually.
And it sounds like the German word for riddle, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, I've thought about this.
Oh, okay. I guess
There's a couple screen names out in the internet that might be me.
I guess I would be Nenuk.
Nenuk. Ooh. I like that.
Yeah.
Or your adversary would be that. The son that you never had. You'd be like,
if we touch, the world implodes upon itself.
Yeah. Burst into popcorn. Yeah. But no, like so you can have that. So you can have the villain be like, no, you're wrong. I'm just going to fold my arms and continue being a villain, right? Or you can have the villain be like, oh, I see the light. Like, you're right, but I can't continue. I have to die now, right? Both of those are great. And then there is this version in this movie where deep down the villain is hoping to be saved, and they see the hero succeeding where they failed, and they think, maybe you're the one. Maybe you're the one who will help me make sense of all this, the one who will save me. And folks, this is the minute where that is revealed for this movie. And what a way to reveal it, because we've lost. Evelyn has failed too. It's like if Batman became a villain, Joker truly then would be like, oh, well, fuck. Like, what is anything? Like you were my last thing to hold on to.
That's like another one of these great villains, the Xenomorph in Alien.
Yes. Ripley, you complete me.
That's right. Yeah, well, they're finally alone in the escape pod. Yeah.
Yes.
And Ripley has the gun that she's going to shoot the alien with, put him through the door, and you kind of get this close up of the alien and the Xenomorph, and she kind of like sadly like nods like yes.
You see,
like please, yes.
And what really, really makes it is you see, because the alien has like, the Xenomorph has like that shiny dome with no eyes, right? And you see Sigourney Weaver's reflection.
Right, and so she we get the
and you're
shot
like,
of her.
They're the same.
They're the same. And so the Xenomorph like sadly nods, like you're right to do this. It's okay to do this. And then Ripley's like single tear as she's trying to pull the trigger. It's really difficult for her. And then
as a mirror to Alien 3, which hadn't come out yet.
Hadn't come out yet.
But the little tongue with teeth comes out,
right?
And just gives her a little. Kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, a little kiss on the cheek.
Sorry.
No, that's literally what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well,
we're not so different, you and I.
Yeah, then the alien gets sent down into space. It's very sad. And when everything's calmed down again, Jonesy the cat shows up besides Ripley. And Jonesy's like, "You did it, Ripley. You killed the monster." And Ripley just looks off into the long distance and says, "Did I, Jonesy? Did I?"
And then we pan out the window, and we happen to be looking at a moon. And we hear Patrick's voice, and he says, "MOON." That spells alien.
Yeah, cut to black. All right. Yeah, I think we should probably finish this episode at this point.
Yeah.
But no, I really appreciate this question of like what makes a great villain. I really appreciate you going on a ledge and saying that Jobu's a perfect one. I think it's an interesting question. I think like the question of like what makes a good hero is a little bit easier to define. So yeah, I'd love to hear from people and what makes their favorite villains. I guess in this conversation we have left out Annie Wilkes from Misery. Noah Cross from we talked about him briefly, but Noah Cross from Chinatown, maybe HAL 9000, I'd love to hear Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. But I'd love to hear people's versions.
I did that thing where that we're not supposed to. I kind of like continued watching after the minute, and there's more villain moments with Jobu. Right. So maybe Hal will show up, or those others.
And Maleficent is probably my favorite of the Disney ones. Yes.
Yeah. So we're not done with this.
Great, good.
And I didn't even like Keenan deciding to do this movie and loving villains as much as I do. Those were like two different spheres. I didn't expect to be watching this closely and realize like all of the things I love about villains are in one character. So this is a happy discovery for me.
Very cool.
Yeah. And folks, we'll leave you there for this week. This has been the 102nd minute of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've been Lester Ryan Clark. You can reach me in all the universes as Lester Ryan Clark.
And I've been Keenan Diaz. In your universe, I'm on Instagram and Letterboxd as Howdy Keenan.
Yeah, we got our Facebook listener group, Banana for Scale. That's a community for all of our shows, including this one. It's a private group. Just request to join, and you'll be sucked into the banana. If you want more, consider joining us at truestory.fm/join and look for Banana for Scale. That's us. You get bonus episodes of all our shows, access to our Discord, and you get your episodes a week early and ad-free. Pretty cool. Just $5. If you're not sure about that yet, one thing you can do that's absolutely free but would really mean all the universes to us would be to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to our show. 5 stars for each of the limited universes.
That's why there's 5 universes.
That and sharing the show by word of mouth or on social media is going to help our little podcast grow and find more cool people like you. All right. Once again, there is not a lot of stuff to like pick up or put down or anything in this minute.
Gonna have to get creative.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Now, this hasn't been largely released. They caught it in time, but there are a couple copies out there where when you get that wide shot of both of them going ha 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 ha, Joy's super titles are black, and Evelyn's super titles are white. I just swapped them around.
Oh my goodness, that's chaotic.
I'm a loose cannon. Or Agent of Chaos. Is that what the Joker says? Agent of Chaos?
Oh, I forget what he says. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, when you're good at something, never do it for free, I say.
There we go.
Yeah, well, you've really blown my mind by comparing Jobu here to the great villains of cinema, and I'm going to go in with my Joker makeup kit that I always have on me in real life, and I'm going to give her a "Why so serious?" face on this rock here.
There we go.
Or Jesus, she's so adaptable. I can give her an Anton Chigurh bowl haircut. I can give her a little Wicked Witch of the West hat. Yes,
you do all of those at once.
I can make her Voldemort by removing her. She doesn't have a nose.
You got to give her a nose and then remove the nose.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then she'll laugh like Ray Fiennes, like, I'm a Shakespearean actor. I was in Schindler's List. Anyway. All right. Keenan, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. Fuck. with that, we're out, folks. 1, 2, 3.